Hi there, my name is Megan Hargrave, and I am excited to talk to you really briefly about how you can support your young writers when it comes to their language conventions. When we think about our earliest writers, and we think about your students who are kindergartners, there are certain things that we focus on when it comes to their spelling and punctuation, and certain things that we want them to really practice. And that means there's probably some other things we have to let go of. And so I want to share with you some of the things that you can focus on when it comes to your students' spelling and punctuation. So when we think about language conventions, really we think about like what we want students to edit their writing for. Let's break it down into thinking about two things that we can do to help them with their spelling and two things we can do to help them with their punctuation. The first thing that we encourage kindergarten writers to focus on when it comes to spelling is we encourage them to really focus on writing letters that match sounds. And so they might not have the entire word spelled correctly, but they have letters that match the sounds that they hear. So the more you can encourage your writers to say the words slowly and really listen for the sound and give that prompt, what sounds do you hear? And what letters match those sounds, the more you'll be supporting them with their spelling. The next thing that you can do to support your early writers when it comes to spelling is to encourage them to use classroom tools. And whether you are in a classroom or at home, probably at home if you're watching this from the lens of a caregiver, really ask teachers what they're used to using in the classroom, or you can just Google a kindergarten word wall. You can find an example of a word wall or an alphabet chart, but really encouraging kids to use tools, whether it be their word wall or an alphabet chart, to help them with their spelling. It's really important that we teach our youngest writers to be interdependent on these tools as they're learning to write. And then two things you want to focus on when it comes to punctuation. The first thing is just really focusing on leaving spaces between words, leaving proper spaces between words. We are big on just leave a finger space, go back and check for your finger spaces. Some teachers will use a pen or a popsicle stick, but it's really helpful if they can just learn how to quickly leave a space and move on. So that's the first thing you want to focus on. And then the second thing that you want to focus on when it comes to punctuation is really helping your young writers grasp the concept of starting every new sentence with a capital letter. I know that that means that they have a complete sentence, and their sentence might not be a complete sentence, but it might be a complete thought for them. But if you start to see them approximating and practicing putting capital letters at the start of a new sentence or a new phrase, you can tell that they're right on board for what they should be doing when it comes to their punctuation. So work on these four things with your young writers, and you'll help move them forward into their next steps. Thanks.